are we? So, Brandon and Blake literally just left to go to Austria, and I am not jealous in the slightest. Buddings. Yeah, so I've just come down here for a few hours this evening. We just found out on Blake's R6 that this little boo-boo at Anglesey, we've tweaked the swing arm. So with all of the torsion that went through that back wheel, the chain got stretched to buggery, and it made us think, do we have a bit of damage? And when the wheel's now in it, when it's in this state, and that you can see it's just, there's a 5mm difference. So basically what I did is, we've got it on axle stands, and I measured off center the swing arm pivot to the bench on both sides and made sure they were both level. So I didn't really research how to do this properly. There's not too much out there. So it's just the way I kind of thought about it. So got the bike level on the stand, on the axle stands left to right, so they were identical to the bench. Then measured from here on both sides to the bench. So I figured obviously in that if your swing arm's level, your axles are going to be level, and there's a 5mm difference, which then explains quite a bit, because I ended up having to tune the bike the suspension quite a bit at Anglesey after the crash, because it wouldn't turn or anything. So we found that out the other day. We are currently on the 13th of March. I think only Taylor's making it. I'm not talking to you about that one yet. Taylor's making it to the first test this Sunday on the 19th. I won't be, because I'm waiting for some fairings. Quinn can't because he needs to do a race score, which I think is on the 2nd. So Blake's first time out this year is going to be, fingers crossed, on the track day on the 26th. Yeah, so I was going to set the camera up and just kind of have a little bit. Short and sweet. I've only got like 2 hours as well, so we'll see how it goes. Quick update, just because I thought I'd give it a minute. So basically what I'm doing now, I've just pulled really little like hugger off, pulled tie guides off, axle adjusters, pulled them off, pulled the caliper off. That's just hanging over the side. Shark fins come off, and now I'm just working on undoing the linkage. So now the swing arm's free apart from the main bolt, so now I'm just going to pull all the linkage out, because I want to grease all the bearings in the linkage and inspect them. Nice to just get a proper good clean in there as well. Need to pull the shock out as well. Obviously the shock needs to come out, otherwise you're not getting the swing arm off the... However, anyone who just needs to know, if you ever come across this, see my brain, undo this bolt, this comes out, pull this forward, whoop, shock comes out. However, if I can do it one-handed, frame's in the way. You have to take this one off up here, which probably would have been easier in the first place anyway, but I have no idea if you've seen that. Yeah, this one. Don't know if it was any better in the first place, but there we go. Learn something new. Just means putting them back together should be. It's not. So I think I've got it. I just haven't been able to pull the shock out of it. And then apparently that gives me the clearance to pull the relay arm out. I'm getting aggravated, but I'm just gonna go and get back to it. Maha! Yes. Okay, I have to scratch my head. I finally made it. I was being a little bit dumb, to be honest, and that, but, well, I wasn't dumb. I've always erred on the side of caution. I don't like forcing things. But anyway, yes. So, shock is out. That's going to get a nice clean. Next up is literally the swinger. Now, I can't take the chain out because I don't have a chain breaker. And honestly, I just can't be bothered using an angle grinder at this time of night. So this is going to get a little bit complicated. So we've got the nice funky boy from Yamaha. I'll try and get you a good angle somewhere over here. So basically now it's take this nut off, go around the other side, take the nut off, and then back her out. We shall see. Swing arm still in. Kind of annoyed. Kind of annoyed. Should have seen it coming though. So basically, there's, from what I can see, you've got a castle nut this end that acts as a preload, because you've got a lock nut on this side, so that's at 70 newtons, this is at 70 newtons, but then obviously you take this off and you'll see on the other side, like I say, you need a dampener adjustment rod or something like that. Basically a big Allen jobby to fit in here to then undo the whole pivot shaft. I just think, what's the point? I need to, and my brain needs to picture it, so I just need to put it down, walk away. I'm gonna go study a manual or three, go possibly find a YouTube video of a guy doing it and it takes him 10 minutes instead of 2 hours. And yeah, a little bit on the aggravated side, but yeah, we just learn. It's what we do. As long as you're learning, job's a good one. Now, I did have, the reason why, because some of you might go, well, if you didn't have all the tools, why start the job? Now, I have a big, like, Allen adapter. You could have been right close to my face there. Don't have a clue. Big Allen jobby adapter. And it goes up to, so like 24mm, so big enough. I just don't know where the chuff it is. So yeah, gonna go home, have a bit of a head scratch, bit of a think, make a game plan for tomorrow, because I've got the same again tomorrow. See if I can find my tool. Leg cock. Everything's better with a leg cock. So yeah. Good morning. Actually morning, because when I said I was coming back the next day, it's actually 4 days later. Life, work, yay. I've had a big old think, a big old ponder. I also had a look at the footage I took from Monday, and most of it's trash, so it's going to look a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So let me just go through what I did a couple of days ago to where I am now, and then make a game plan. So, just give this a press so I can see what I'm doing. Got the caliper off, well, it's down there. Got the hugger off, got the paddock bobbins off, got the shark fin off, got the chain out of the way off the front sprocket, because this has to come loose and all that sort of palaver. Rear shock is out, the linkages are off. I've just got the arm that I can't remember the name of, that's still on there. Got to look at that once I get the swinger out. Broken this side loose. Broken this side loose, and I was wrong. This isn't 70 newtons, this is 95. And I now understand how the splines work on this bugger. So I'm going to get this out, get this swinger gone and in the garbage. Inspect some linkage bearings, give everything a clean, check everything's right with the new swinger, get that mated back up into it, start getting everything put back together, cleaning as we go. Yeah, positive, get some more progress done. I was getting tired the other night. It was a long shift in work and then straight down here, and yeah, a lot more fresh today. Day off, nice and fresh, got not so much of a time limit, so I can take my time, just get through it, and I'm not going to do time lapses, so I don't need to think about it. So yeah, we'll see how we go. And now I'm going to copy Blake. Whoop! Back already, like 5 minutes. She's oot. She's all oot. I was starting to worry from Monday night that swing arm pivot was bent, but with the highly scientific roll it on a flat known surface and see if it wobbles. It doesn't wobble, so call it good. What I ended up doing to try and get this out, 11mm spanner. Now, this is janky as hell. 11mm spanner, just in the end, and then if you give her a cant, she locks in. And this is only at 16 newtons, so all you need to do is break it, and then you damn near do it by hand anyway, so peachy. Now I'm gonna get this arm that I still can't remember the name of, begins with an R, can't remember, someone would tell me. Gonna get this out, start getting everything clean, start getting some more grease and things, and then get this beautiful piece back in. Nice. It is me again, and I didn't do the whole wah thing last time, so that won't make any sense either. Just a little teeny tiny update. So I've got all of our bits and gubbins out. Swinger sat over there with nothing else on it that we need. I can't, for the life of me, get this little spline out. Spline, idiot. There's a shaft at the top of the relay arm, because I remember the name of it now, that's locking it in. I can't remove it in any way. Like, it's all free, but I can feel a bit of play, which is not ideal. Is not ideal, but for now I can get it. I want it out because I want to grease all the bearings, because that's what it might be. There's just a little tiny bit of slop everywhere, but like, oh dear, like these bearings are dry, so you can hear them. So I'm hoping that's what that slop is. It just needs a load of new grease in it, because we hadn't greased it last season. This is the first time we've had this swinger off the bike, which is a bit silly to be fair, and it won't be happening again like that. So yeah, just kind of stumped at the minute. I'm gonna go make myself another brew, clean some parts, scratch my noggin. As I'm getting older in life, and that's something that's key, and that don't force it, just sit and have a think. Take a step back, have a brew, ponder, come up with a game plan that stops you breaking as many parts. If we're gonna break anything, I wanna do it on circuit. Don't wanna do it in the fucking workshop, because that's just a silly waste of money. Brew time. Hello. I've been doing things. Not quite as much progress as I wanted, mainly for the life of me, get out of the way. For the life of me, I can't get this relay arm out, so I'm not, because I could spend all day on this, and I do not have enough hours between now and the 26th when this needs to be track ready. So it's something I'm conscious about. It's also something I can get to with the swing arm in place. It's not ideal, but it's just something I'm just going to have to do. I'm just going to have to leave it. I'm aware of it. I want to get grease in there. It's not. I'll grease the rest of them. It's just that one pivot point that I'll try and get to. Once Blake's back from Austria, I can have a proper sit and think with him. I'm just going to get cracked on. Let's get this out of the way. So what we got here. Nice shiny new Öhlins TXX shock. Nice Oakland. No, that's not new, but it's clean. New swing arm. Chain guard's clean. Linkage is clean. We've got all our... So this lives inside here. And then obviously there's our pivot shaft with the usual sort of like weird old retention system, because Yamaha. So now what I'm going to do is just get a little bit merry with the grease, maybe a little bit of copper slip in places. I did find one of these, I believe it was this one, the top one that comes through here on the relay arm. This is a free floating shaft that was seized onto the bolt. Oh, so you can see, so yeah, it's a free floating shaft that was seized onto the bolt and that, so a little bit of percussive just to get her out. Gave her a lick with some paper and some Scotch-Brite. A little bit, so I'll put some copper slip inside here on there. This one is obviously grease on the outside. I'm going to re-grease all the bearings. These feel really good actually. From what we know, there's not a lot of life been put into this swing arm. This was I'll get the name of it off Blake for the race team that had this and we bought it off. So it's very good. I'm just going to get a little bit of extra grease in it because it doesn't hurt. It's March, it's chucking it down with rain for the next 3 days. I'm pretty certain March is just going to be wet, so the more grease the better. Where have we gone? Oh, there's end caps as well. Just end caps to go on once everything's wet, and then I'll pack that full of grease as well, just try and stop any water ingress. Given all in here are clean-ish. Now I've had a bit of access to it, I might give it a little bit more of a clean, because once I look at it, it's terrible. Yeah, making progress on that. I want it back on the back wheel today. Like, probably, ideally within the next 2 hours. I'm not giving myself a time limit, it'll take as long as it takes. Ideally, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's good. See you in a minute. Did it. Just got a bit of a hustle on. Swings in. We're nice and tight. There's a couple of bits I need to torque. But yeah. Linkage is back together. That's a fairing hanger. But yeah, linkage back together. Shocks in. Shocks all torqued in. I just need to torque down this top nut. Yeah, and there's a little bit axle adjusters back in, paddock bobbins on, hugger on, shark fin on. I probably should have tapped that while it was off the bike. Oh, that could have been something to think about better. But progress. And now I am going to nip out because I am hungry and I need some food. So yeah, not too sure if I'm getting back today. Might do, maybe, we'll see. Certainly be soon anyway, because we're getting there. So not much left to do on this part. Once this is done, think of the rest of the bike really. We've got to make some lock stops and that, because as Blake's pointed out, and that we snapped one off at Anglesey. So we need to do some lock stops. I need to get the subframe back in. I'm going to lock wire these. Because the drill's for it anyway, so less than titaniums. So yeah, we'll get them in. I've got to lock wire the sump plug and the oil fill on the dipstick, either or. Yeah, and then get a race ready. But she's not far away, but yeah, it's pretty good. So I think that might be it for my little video on changing the swinger. Try and keep it short. It's literally just the last little dribs to put on. We've got the hugger and stuff like that, so I might just leave it, call it there. The swing is in, that job's done, it's all tight, we're all square. What I'm going to do, and that is, once it's all done proper, I'm going to measure everything up again, just see if my measurements were right and that swing arm is junk. I hope it is, otherwise I've just got to split money. So, cool, right. Thank you very much, and I'll do the whole thing in